Hello, hello. I'm Lori Alvarez, and I welcome you to Real Estate with Soul, the podcast. This is where I will share my story, knowledge, wisdom, and the legacy in real estate, and my family, all boldly wrapped up in one with you. So let's get started. Oh my goodness. Hello, sister.
Hi.
What are you up to?
Oh, the usual. It's Tuesday, podcast time. I'm ready.
Stupid. No, so now you just confused everyone because they hear
that's
it on
right.
Thursday.
This comes out on Thursday. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You never use real days in the world of podcasting and video.
All right. That'll be the last time, I swear.
And with that said, this is March. We're using a real day, a real month.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about women.
Women power. Woo woo.
What? And so, okay, why are we talking about women?
It's our month.
It's our month.
We get a month.
We get an entire month. Do you know it started as just a day?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, when you do a Googling and you do the research, you find out it grew from a day to a week to now we get an entire month.
Wow.
I know. That's pretty cool that we get an entire month.
Totally.
And so here are a couple of things I wanted to say. First off, there are some amazing women in the world. What's one that stands out to you?
Oh my gosh, Women History Month. Anne Frank.
What about her?
I'm
surprised you even know who she is.
Why are you asking me then? Gosh.
Tell me more.
Her history and how she grew up and just, she was so young and just the strength to overpower, and fight through everything she went through. Like, that's pretty amazing. There's so many women. There
is. Like, I have this cool book that I bought a long time ago. For those of you who are watching us on the YouTube channel, right? I'm holding up the book. My awesome, beautiful, crossed out, badass book of saints. Courageous women who showed me how to live, right? And these are women in the Bible and then women in the world, right? Wow. And how those cross together and come together. Beautiful, beautiful reading. If you haven't read it, it's a fantastic book. I did read it long ago.
Yeah.
Long ago. So, I was just thinking about that as I was Googling cool women and women in the world and women in general. I think about our first podcast, right? Mm-hmm. Our first podcast was as Irma, our awesome woman podcast producer, right? She told me, she goes, oh, remember? Because we just celebrated our 15th year as a woman-led business.
Yeah.
I just celebrated that over the weekend.
So awesome.
Yep. Sunday was officially my 15th year in real estate as a woman-led business. Even though my son really thinks that he leads us, he's got another thing coming to him.
Yep.
And so Irma, she has been with us now for 2 years as our podcast producer. I met her 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now I'm 2 years as a podcast host, as she reminds me, right? But I met her 2 years ago and I said, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
And she helped empower me to slowly build this up. Like, now we do it weekly. Before we would do it like every other week, or I think like once a month or something.
Yeah.
Because it was all like, she's like, that's a lot of real estate in your schedule. You might want to slowly move into it.
Yeah.
And now we're just weekly. I find plenty of time to talk about the awesome things of real estate and the world. And so we love you. She's sending me little messages. I love you too, Irma. You're the best.
You are the best.
Make sure you don't erase that part of this podcast. With that said, our very first podcast recording was Women and Negotiating. And it was 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you weren't part of it at that time.
No,
you probably never even listened to it because you don't listen to the podcast regularly.
Oh gosh.
You just show up for it.
I do listen to it. Gosh.
Big sister, little sister complex.
Go on, please.
Women. Anyways, with that said, right, I didn't even realize it was only 8 minutes long, but and Irma had reminded me, it was only 8 minutes long. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy that it was only 8 minutes long. I was so nervous. But I talked about how it said women women do not know how to negotiate. And I was like, what the heck? I rock and roll at negotiating.
Seriously.
Like, I'm a pit bull when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And I do
100%.
it in such a sweet way. You don't even know it's happening.
That's true. That's so true.
I just do.
Yeah.
I just do. Because I empower them to believe it's their decision.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. You empower people to realize that it is all about them and not about us, right?
Right.
Then you win. And I think that's the one thing. Well, we have a lot of women have a lot of attributes, but that is the one thing women, I think, really do well, is go around empowering other people to rock and roll. I mean, come on, last week, all I talked about was how amazing you are as a cheerleader, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to downgrade that or think like, oh, that's all she does, right? No. Do you know how many people won't cheerlead you? Do you know how many people won't encourage you to move forward in the things that you maybe think you do well and you just need a little boost of confidence? And guess what? It makes a difference in the world.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that. That's so true.
I mean, that is what people need. That is what keeps people moving forward. And women do that really, really well.
Definitely.
I will add, as to not make men feel bad on this podcast, that your dad was amazing at cheerleading me into the things that I needed to do.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yes, he did a great job in it as well. But here's the thing. There is so many amazing women in the world. And guess what? Podcast listener, woman and man, it is just you. It really is. You are amazing. So don't think that you need to do this huge historical thing like so many women who have historically changed the world, because in your little world, you can make a difference historically.
Yeah. Yes.
We do it every day with real estate, right? Historically, we change your geographic location, which changes your whole world.
Yeah, it sure does.
Even if it's only moving 2 blocks like I did. Right?
Right.
I don't think anyone else has had a shorter move than me at this time that I can think of or aware of. If you've had a shorter move than me, like you just bought the house next door, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because I moved 2 blocks and it was like the end of the world for my oldest son. He was 6 and he was like, Mommy, no, you can't move.
Aw,
my best
so
friend lives
sweet.
across the street.
Aw.
I was like, it's only 2 blocks, dude. You can walk there. I promise. I will walk there with you. So look, here's the deal, right? Women are just amazing. And we do want to encourage and empower women, especially when it comes to real estate, right? And financial decisions. We want to empower you to be the strongest, boldest, curious, wisest woman in the room when it comes to money, when it comes to making real estate decisions, when it comes to deciding whether you should buy this house or that house, or whether you should sell this house or sell that house.
Yeah.
Right? Or whether you should buy an investment property or not. We want to empower you to feel confident, to know that you have the ability to make that decision with the information you have right now in you. Trust that you are doing the best that you can in the moment that you know with the information that you have at that time. Trust that. And through any failures, mistakes, wins, or losses, you will still win because you will come out better on the other side. Right? We talk about this all the time. I told you how many years ago to buy that property.
Oh, I know.
And you didn't do it.
I know.
Right? And what have you won because you didn't do it?
Well, definitely it was a learning experience for sure. And the biggest takeaway I got from that was don't drag your feet. Don't drag your feet on any of that stuff. If it feels right, if it you're getting great advice from a real estate professional and
A trusted partner.
then go for it. Don't hesitate.
Mhm.
Because that cost me like $300K.
Well, I mean, you just didn't earn that additional
Right?
income.
I didn't. Yeah.
That's all it is. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
But it was a good learning experience for sure.
Yes. I mean, here's the deal. Like, it's the reality of it. It just wasn't just your time or place to buy that property. But now you can share that experience with your clients when you sit down and you go, well, one time my sister told me I should buy this little condo that was only $150K. And now it's on the market for $500.
Yeah.
And so I probably would have really won in that circumstance if I would have done it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And it's okay that you didn't.
Right.
It is the right time, I guess. Okay. No, it wasn't your time. It wasn't. You're invested in real estate now.
Right.
And you're happy with where you are in the real estate business. Right. And you're striving to do more in the real estate business.
Yes.
You and your dad work so diligently together. Right. I do all of my investing with my husband. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You and your dad are partners in that area. You work that area together.
He loves it.
Oh, he does.
He loves it.
He does. Which just comes back to our grandmother, right? Our grandmother was awesome. She was the 5th richest lady in El Monte back in like the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah, that's super cool, right?
Because she owned so much real estate.
Yep.
Right? That's exciting. That's so exciting. When you look at that stuff and you go back in the 40s and the 50s, I mean, look, historically, women were not empowered to do anything
at that time.
in the 40s and the 50s, right? Women really had to work very hard to be allowed to do and participate in certain activities.
Especially financial ones.
Yes. So we want to remind you, women, it is okay that you don't understand the language of real estate, the language of investing. I'm reading a book right now that is, I won't say the title, but I'm reading a book right now that's all about empowering women to improve and learn. And that's all you do. You just continue to listen to the language. I tell my sister every day, listen to the language. You will become better in that environment as you listen to the language and you hear it.
Right.
You will just become better in it. Right?
Right.
You will just do it. So if you had any one person woman person, obviously, that would be your ultimate role model, who would that be? And you don't need to share their name. Who would that be and why are they that person?
Well, that's you, sister.
Oh, don't be stupid. Talk about someone else.
I'm not. No, I'm serious.
That's stupid. Anyways, go on.
Come on. Like, you set such a great example. Why do you think in real estate? Well, also one, because I love it, but just all the knowledge that you have, that you teach me about building wealth in real estate, and it's something that we love. I mean, why wouldn't I? Like, I totally look up to you in that aspect. Well, in every aspect, I think you're amazing. So,
I love you.
But yeah,
I love you.
You're my person for that.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And I asked that question only because I want all women, right, to have their mentor and or inspiration, someone that you're like, oh, yes, right?
Right.
Inspiration, or you're inspired by. I was so excited when one of your closest friends just bought her second property. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago, right?
Yeah. Super proud of her.
She's single woman, doing her thing,
working full time, still going to school online, and bought her second investment property.
Her second house.
Yeah.
Right. And you say you can't buy a house. Come on. Yes, of course you can. Why are you saying that?
You just need the right guidance.
You do. And you need patience. And you need due diligence. And you need to learn how to save money. Right? You need to know where to put your money. You need to know that you can still enjoy life in the midst of all of that. Don't don't think, oh, well, because I'm going to buy 1 or 2 properties or even just 1 property, like I must not enjoy any life
No.
during that time.
Yeah, she took a little trip while we were doing that.
Yeah, what the
She
heck?
went
I
away
did see
for
that.
4 days.
Yeah, she was in
I was
one of
like,
the
"Okay,
places
I'll
I
take
want to
care
go
of your"
visit, Belize.
Yeah.
I told her she's buy real estate over there because it's contracts according to what I've read and understand is written in English and we can own over there.
Yeah. Wow,
And
that's super cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's somewhere I want to go visit and I want to see if I want to invest over there.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, right? You can and will do it if you choose to set your mind to it and believe that you can make it. That's so hallmarky.
It is a little bit, but that's okay.
And it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's simply the truth. But you have to set your mind to it. You can't just say like, oh, I'm going to do it and then not do anything about it.
Right.
You got to figure out, what am I putting away? What am I doing? How am I doing it? One of our clients just recently said to me, and I loved it. She said, I loved that the lender called me, not my husband.
Oh.
She felt empowered to be part of the decision, empowered to help and support in the decision. Isn't that exciting?
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was still a male lender.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a conversation with her that allowed her to feel like she was wise enough to make the decision.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love that.
Right.
I love that it's not just him or her and her, or him and him, or them, or whatever. It's not just one person making this decision.
Yeah.
But it's us coming together
Yes.
with great information to help support each other. I mean, that's why we have the podcast, right? We want to empower you with great information and knowledge that we have to set you up to succeed in your real estate world and family and life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. That's what we're here for. And so to be able to celebrate amazing women all month long, like, who is it? I encourage all our podcast listeners, who is it today that you can send a text message to, or an email to, or a telephone call to, or a little Instacart delivery of I love you? I sent my son some sunflowers yesterday.
Aww.
I bought him groceries and sent him sunflowers via Instacart.
That's super sweet.
And he was like, thank you, Mommy, for sending me sunflowers. I said, well, you're my sunshine.
Aww.
I don't do that much
You
often
miss
either.
him so much.
Well, of course, he moved out. What the heck? They're supposed to move out. That's what we're supposed to do. They're supposed to move out. I'd rather they all lived with me forever, though.
Yeah, me too.
And here's the deal. And probably that's not a truth. I mean, I'm sure they're not old enough yet for me to be like, you're 35. Get the heck out of here. They're not there yet. So I'm sure for all you women out there that are listening, or parents out there that are listening that have children that are 35 still living at home, you might have a very different perspective than me. You're ahead of me, and I appreciate you and appreciate your wisdom. Please feel free to share it forward.
Yeah.
And here's the deal, right? It's who can you do? What can you do? Who can you inspire? That's a female in your world today, this moment. Who is it that you can do that? Who you can even share this podcast with, right? For a little inspiration. Maybe they're down in the dumps and they believe like, oh my gosh, I can't ever buy a house. I mean, come on, let's talk about the real estate market. I just did my goofy TikTok about how I have no rhythm. And yet the real estate market does have a rhythm, which is you got low interest rates, which allow for you to, when using financing, achieve a fantastic payment. And we have low inventory, which allows for you and you buyer and you seller to achieve top dollar.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Right.
Right? Yeah. That's what the market is. Simply that market right now. It is simply that way. So maybe you've been discouraged. Maybe you're like, gosh, I've written my 50th offer and I just can't get it accepted. Well, first and foremost, hire us. We can. We're only in California. And we can't guarantee we can get it accepted. And we haven't had anyone who hasn't given up not get their offer accepted.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
May take a little bit of time, may take some offers.
Yeah.
You never get emotionally attached to any one property. You can get excited about it. Don't get emotionally attached. And don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your desire to have a home. Does everyone need to have a home? Well, everyone will live in a house that they will call home. Doesn't necessarily mean they need to own it.
Right.
Not everyone's going to own it. And that's totally acceptable. Don't buy into the, like, you got to have the white picket fence and you got to have this and you got to have that. You can have anything you choose to have, how you can choose it, as long as it's within your financial ability. And it's up to you on whether or not you can afford and want to own.
Yeah.
Ownership is not for everyone.
Right.
Even though I am a realtor and I am going to lead you that way.
Yes. Yes, we will.
But we will also help you make an informed decision that says, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Because what you had your one set of friends that were like, oh, we want to buy a house, but next year we're going to move. Don't buy a house. What are you thinking?
Right.
You're going to move.
Yeah.
It's like so expensive unless you plan on coming back. Do you plan on coming? No, we don't. No way. We don't want to come back to California.
Yeah. Then we're not going to do that.
Well, I mean, I guess if you want to own real estate here while you're
I
somewhere
guess so.
else.
Sure.
And yet I'm not a big fan of doing that myself.
Yeah.
You know, so I just apply the principles that I think work well for me, with full disclaimer that it works well for me and your circumstance may be very, very different.
Right.
And that's why we have a conversation about your circumstance, not mine. And you can still accomplish your very goals as a woman. There are so many women that have succeeded and made huge differences in the world. Huge differences.
So who is the woman you look up to?
Oh, gosh. So I have my virtual mentors and then my real life mentors, right?
Okay.
You know, so there's just a huge variety of them. I don't know. So, okay, so here's a good point. I don't think it'll pop up. One of these, yeah, it won't. One of these wonderful women, I don't know the passcode, so we can't figure it out. And of course, Nolan has disappeared again.
Nolan, I'm going to remind her when it's time for raises.
Anyways, with that said, right? There, look who came out into the world, right? Look who's here. Nolan Jacob, my third son. Open this computer up again. So, okay, there is a woman that I really loved right now that I thought was so impactful. Her quote really touched my heart. Let me go to it.
Okay.
Here it is. Oh, this computer's backwards. Okay. Here it is.
Good thing Irma can
here it is.
Edit this.
There it is. She is Malala Yousafzai. I'm so sorry if I totally.
Yeah, your guess is
totally killing it. M-A-L-L. I'm sorry, M-A-L-A-L-A, and then her last name is spelled Y-O-U-S-F-Z-R.
S-A-F-Z-A-I.
Thank you. 1997 to present. You know what I loved that she said? Her quote right here is, I tell my story not because it is unique, but because it is the story of many girls. Do you know how bad I want to be different from everyone else?
Yeah. I know. I don't know if everybody else knows, but I know.
Yeah, be my little sister, right? I want. See, there is I can't still say it, Irma. You sent it to me, and I still can't pronounce it correctly. Malala Yousafzai. That's what it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Irma. Okay. So I want so badly to be different than the whole wide world. I say it every day. I don't want to do that like every other realtor.
Oh, you always tell me that.
Don't do it like them. I want it so badly. And I read her quote. I tell my story not because it is unique, but because it is the story of many girls. And boy, did that just touch my heart.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, we are so alike, even as we look physically different, right? We look physically different. We are physically different. We do the world differently. We are yet still so much the same. And why do I have this need to be different? Well, that's a conversation for a counselor. And it's okay that I want to be different. And it's okay that I'm very much just like you. Because I am very much just like you. Just a woman who raised a couple of kids, 4 of them to be
4.
exact, wild sons, who is married now, just doing my thing, running a business, figuring it out, making mistakes all the way through it, making sure everything I say empowers people. And there are some times that I don't do it well. And I forgive myself for that. And so when you ask who are my mentors and who are my trainers and who are my inspiration, well, of course, my beautiful sister is one. I already said it once. Of course, you are. Our mother, we cannot leave out our
Of
mother or
course,
she will
Mom.
disown us. And she listens to the podcast every
She
week.
does. She listens to us.
She's very inspiring, right? She's
Yeah.
a single woman making it happen.
Yeah.
And she owns her own house too, right? And
Yep.
it's through all of her challenges that she's winning,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because life doesn't come easy. I love how God says that. Like God just says, and I live in my faith and I am a woman of faith. God just says, without the valleys, we couldn't have the mountaintops.
Yeah.
So don't get stuck in your valleys. They're there just to make you stronger, inspire you that you can do something more and you can be more, you can do more, you can have more, you can give more. More importantly, you can give more because women are givers.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just what we love to do. So, yes, there's lots of inspiring women out there. Lots of them. I love them. I listen to them. I have multiple podcasts that I listen to and books that I listen to, and I'm inspired by women around me that are supporting me in my business, that do things well that I don't do well, right?
Right.
We have Amanda, we have Lauren, we have Hasina, and then we have all these boys that are helping us too. So we're very
We got a
well-rounded.
couple of boys here. Yeah.
We're very well-rounded. And then we have my Nicholas. He's our gay son. And he always comments about everything I do in my real estate world.
Yep. You better make sure that grammar and verbiage.
Now, not even beyond that.
Yeah.
And he's a sporter, a cheerleader, an inspirer
Oh,
too.
yeah, for sure. Nicholas is amazing.
Yes. Everyone used to love him on Facebook Lives with me when we would do Facebook Lives. So look, women, this is your month. Celebrate yourself this month. And it doesn't mean, oh, you have to go get a massage or get my nails done, because obviously I haven't,
Yeah,
right? Or get my
same.
hair done or whatever. Yes, all that stuff is fantastic. And if you have the ability and the whereabout to do it, do it. Otherwise, it's just be okay with you today. It's simply just get up and affirm you. Say, I am mighty, I am wonderful, and I am here to stay and I am here to love, and I am here to give what I can give today. Because that is what you're here for. People say all the time, "How do you know that you love it?" Well, because that's all I love to do. It's all I love to do. So what makes you smile? Because that's what you're supposed to do with your world. And ladies, you all have a beautiful smile. So go smile at the world and share your special message, especially this month, sister.
Let's do it.
That's right.
Yep.
That is right. Next week, I think we have a guest.
Yeah. Who's joining us next week?
I don't know. We have a guest, though. Look on the podcast calendar on our website at lorialvarez.net, and you'll know who it is. I don't know. Amanda told me. Amanda's one of our awesome other producers and supporters and business leaders in my business.
Yep. Amanda's amazing.
And I forget. I have silver hair.
That's okay. Good thing we write stuff down.
That's right. You women are amazing, and it's your month, it's your year, it's your everything. Do not buy into 2022 is the year of the real estate crash. 2022 is the year of this and that and this. It is the year you make it. So make it something absolutely amazing just for you. And don't compare it to anyone else's, because it's yours for you to own, love, enjoy, inspire, and surround the world with. It's your woman legacy.
That's right.
All done, Irma.
I know.